inspirational for me.
Interesting people.
Universal
Very
education.
life enriching, and you'll never
It's
forget.
unbelievable. It gives people hope to be unique
Excellent.
because of what it brings to the community.
Vocational training. It broadens my mind.
Awesome, the skills that you learn here.
It's consciousness.
It's a place where you learn new things, you meet new people,
Reach out outside
and it's just
of
a vital
Community empowerment via education.
The night, there's this energy in the air. It's like it feels good to be in here.
Really, when I think of PASEP, I think of it as education for the mind and wisdom for the soul, because it's a wonderful way to bring the neighborhood together on a college campus, and it really brings out community.
The community of African American people at large is suffering with undiagnosed depression, economic traumas, as well as being stifled creatively. Therefore, you get to see the high rate of drug addiction and alcoholic addiction in our communities. You get to see the deterioration of the neighborhoods in the sense that there's not enough economic resources to maintain and keep food, clothing, and shelter too.
The main thing is how do you separate? How do you keep community conscious and community bound?
You must engage your mind. That's the biggest challenge, engaging your mind.
You can learn some dates, some names, but that is going to be so irrelevant if it doesn't really impact how your life works.
But you won't get to see her beautiful face. She said that's our office.
He is. He wouldn't let nobody bother us over here either.
Just refreshing up some stuff. Have you actually done any projects?
Oh, man,
I
remodeled the whole house, man. 3rd floor, all the way down to the basement.
Based on what you first got here at PASEP?
Yeah.
PASEP offers the space to kind of continue to grow. Not only growing, just, intellectually, but growing on, a community level, growing on an emotional level, and just challenging yourself to be more.
The symbol of the Baobab tree with the elder teaching the youth is a very powerful one, because it really reinforces passing on information from generation to generation. It's more than unity the way we would define unity here. There's this intergenerational connection, and that we are connected, that we're not separate, the children are not separate over here and the elders here. We are a connection, we are a family. And the information to be preserved has to be preserved through this continuum.
Well, if you've seen our course guide, we actually address every single issue you can imagine. Single parent, fatherhood, motherhood, drug addiction, self-esteem issues, incarceration, whatever people can think of is being addressed right here at PASEP. We have about 12 different consortiums in society here at PASEP. We have a quilting society, the Kiswahili Society. We have a Rites of Passage group, which is now a society, the incarcerated one, and also the Young Men's Rites of Passage. We're linked to the Black Male Development Symposium, which is a society all by itself. We have a health consortium here that's comprised of the 15 to 20 different classes that are linked to health issues. We have a language consortium. We have a math and science consortium. And this is all done with 2 people and some volunteers.
You and I know that the true university has always dealt with the community and has always brought the community there into that university, and also has sent people outside that community also.
The mission is not just for people to give back by sharing what they know, but also to demonstrate that anybody can end up with higher education. The founder, Ms. Hyman, went back to school as an adult, I believe in her 30s, if not her 40s, to receive her degree. So she was also a model for what she was talking about.
Everything I ever wanted to do in life, I have been able to do it here. And I'm thankful to God that I made a commitment.
'75 really marks a time for the end of the Black Power movement and the destruction of the Black Panther movement, all those different things happening at once.
Those were times when if you drive into Philadelphia as a black person, you had some problems dealing with Rizzo and his cops. So things were really tough. And the relationships between Temple and the black community surrounding Temple were not very good. There was a lot of tension involved.
The plan was to touch every aspect of man's life and bring it on campus. From non-readers to people with PhDs, gardening, and prison.
Mrs. Hyman, with, I think it was not just Dr. Ayaga, but with Dr. Tran Van Den, and I think Dr. Roger, they helped to bring it on to Temple's campus.
She had the foresight to see that, well, why don't we move into the university and use the resources of that institution that is in our community to help the community?
It was after a trip to Africa that she thought we need to replicate this in the community.
The people over in the project, those people belong in PASEP. And when I looked at all of the people who need education, this would be the best place in the world to start. And the reason a university campus is important, they have something to look up to.
The first people who came and taught at PASEP were those she recruited from the Pan-African Studies Department.
I taught about 10 different classes at PASEP, and I saw then that this was probably the greatest program on the planet.
She had gathered many of the black professors and said, come, teach classes in the evening.
The aspects of the volunteers as it relates to the Pan-African Study Community Education Program is the heart of the program.
The support system have really been in love with serving, and that has made things easy for me.
When you find individuals that are willing to give back to the community and willing to share those skills with others, it really is the lifeline of this program. Many of these volunteers spend 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, helping us to do some of the function that otherwise we would not be able to do.
You know, the point of to me of a university is to have people come in and learn from each other.
What makes PASEP unique is that they have these qualified, really powerful, amazing teachers who are volunteering their services to give back to the community and share their knowledge and expertise with the community.
All of our faculty have degrees in whatever they're teaching, or they're proficient in what they teach.
In working through PASEP, you see how your potential as an instructor is unlimited.
Excited about, oh, I'm having a baby, you know how you feel like I can't wait to meet my baby.
Something so simply breathing. How about that?
Our class is very multi-generational. Our youngest person in our class is 2 now. And our oldest person in our class is 93.
I had them from 20 up to 80, and what was very odd to me is that as the instructor, I saw that demographic worked.
already got that down here, though.
I erased it.
There you go, right there.
Oh, okay. How much will he make this year? So you add one back.
You are.
Dr. Raheem.
Yeah, but that feeling of being out of control, your life is in someone else's hands.
We have students coming not only from Philadelphia, but from New Jersey, from New York, from Baltimore. The impact of this program have had such a tremendous, I think, effect upon people's lives that people are willing to travel hundreds of miles to receive the type of service that we have to offer them.
One of the founder's other great envisionings was the Passive Vendors Association. This was a way for passive students to get an idea of what the African open air marketplace was like, although it's indoors, but it's also a way to provide a business space for folks who are independent vendors. Most of our vendors make their own products. Currently we have about 20 functioning vendors who are here Monday through Thursday, and as of this summer we formed an actual association, the Passive Vendors Association. Now the way that the vendors contribute to Passive's budget is that their fee goes into either the scholarship fund or the development account. And so folks who receive scholarships from PASEP really should be thanking the vendors.
Nobody knows the struggles that have been underneath of its survival these 31 years.
Here we have a university who has this gem, you know, right there. And rather than support it and expound on it, expand it, it's like a constant contentious situation.
We've had to actually turn people in because we don't have spaces to put the classes that we have. Volunteers are playing a really critical part, which they shouldn't have to pay and play if we actually had funding for the program.
I think that if PASEP can be duplicated in you know, cities across the country, it'll be outstanding because it's offering greatness and an opportunity to be off the hook, if you will.
You have to have either an individual or a group of individuals who have the real desire to want to give back to the community. With that, having organizing skills.
You have to have someone who is nurturing and can really understand the responsibility that these institutions of higher learning have.
There needs to be an environment where adults would feel welcome, attracted to it, comfortable, and also know that they have the kind of support they need to help them toward their goals.
So if you have a strong community board, that can strengthen the organization when it runs into the egos of the people at the institution.
Many of the universities say that they are very much involved with community. It gives them an opportunity to really be involved with that larger community. It came with a vision, it moved with a vision, it went to the community with a vision, it went to the students on campus with a vision, it went to the professors with a vision, it went to the prison with a vision, you know, and that vision still is in sync and in operation also too there at PASEP.
Once you've accomplished that, then you can quite readily sustain a program like that for the next 100 years.
I think we need this alternative voice, this voice that really speaks to the heart and soul of not only African American people, but people in general. So many people are feeling alienated from the mainstream, and PASEP appeals to those people.
PASEP is the answer.